Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're live once again with more spin and go action. I can tell you that to date, we have played 4,063 spin and goes. We're trying to get to 5,000 before the end of 2026. We are well on our way now, guys. We're almost to the halfway mark, and this is what the graph looks like so far this year. All right, so here we are, guys. We are definitely going somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be. It could be great success. It could be very middling of the road. We don't know, but this is what we're going to work on today. And I hope you guys will stick with me as we play some games and we try and talk some strategy. We mark some hands for review, of which we've covered everything so far. And yeah, let's turn off all this stuff really quick. This is what we're looking at. So we definitely managed to break free of the doldrums, as we were calling this sort of long stretch of flatness here. And we were making progress towards getting to a higher chip EV. Last two sessions, I think the last session was kind of like, the session before last, excuse me, was kind of like nothing to report. Yesterday was kind of nothing to report. We ended up losing a fair amount of EV, but again, I don't think anything stands out in my mind as to what we probably would have tried to have done differently. I have a bit of a different mic setup today, guys. I'm experimenting with how I'm going to handle the mic moving forward. I don't like having the microphone really far away from my face because I think the mic does a lot of compensating to try and not only isolate the sound, but also it ends up picking up loads of echo as well. So if you guys could let me know what it sounds like today. I have just put a wash on and there's something in the wash that is tapping and being really annoying. Ignore that part. If the actual mic quality sounds better today, let me know. I've sort of resorted to putting my microphone actually on the desk in front of me here on a pad. And I can imagine it probably sounds pretty good. But obviously it will pick up more movement from the desk. As you guys know, this is a folded desk. I have an idea in mind that will isolate it completely and it will actually be attached to the desk itself. But I'm not exactly sure how that works. We'll figure that out as we go. In any case, let's get into our first game and let's see what we can do. Again, apologies for the background noise, guys. That will stop shortly. I don't know what it is. I put on a normal wash, but there's something tapping against the glass. It's really annoying. Chris Pambos, thank you very much. In fact, speaking of Chris Pambos, speaking of the people in the chat, thank you once again to Undersea Monkey and Tom for being our first today. John Edwards, of course, close third. Close third. Solandor is in the chat as well. What's up, Solandor? Good to see you. And Ed K, the ever-present. How you doing, Ed? Ninja P, by the way. Shout out to Ninja P over there on YouTube as well. Pleasure to have you here. We're going to do a 14-bit blind jam here. This is going to be fine against the reg. We don't really lose too much in the exchange there. Manu says, yo, Nick, the only way is up. Great advice. I actually played a couple games this morning. We managed to do some damage. We are already doing pretty well. We're already well on the way, I would say, to something else now. I'm going to size up on this board ever so slightly. Very wet texture. If our opponents do have straight draw, flush draw, one pair of hands, they'll call the two big blinds. This is going to be fine. Want to watch out for that. It could be a bit of a tell, but I think it's probably okay on this occasion. So against Pisco here, I'm going to do a raise to 2.5 versus Limp. We randomize these against the regs. We just basically try not to do it at all against the unknown players because they will just limp call regardless. But we want to try and be as balanced as possible where we can against the regs because they will notice these things. Better. Dylan Dub, what's up? First time chatter. Mic sounds good. Good. I mean, the mic itself is super duper good. And if your face is really close to the mic, the auto adjustment is actually ridiculously impressive. Like compared to the mics I got in 2016, 2017, when sort of broadcasting was becoming a bit more popularized and people were streaming more and stuff. Those mics would just they were very sensitive, but they would pick up everything. There was very little isolation. So if you wanted a good podcast mic, you spent loads of money, and then it had to be like exactly this far from your face at all times. I actually think this setup is good. Let me know. Here, I tell you what, guys, for those of you listening, let me know if this is really loud or not. I'm going to move the desk. See, actually, what have I lost here? 1, 2, 3. See if I That's me that's me wobbling the desk a little bit because it does wobble a tad. It is a fold-away desk. It's not really registering that much. I think it's probably still going to be very good. With Pisco being very short stacked in the big blind here, I think we're going to play this as a jam. If the small blind was an unknown player, I think we can do some weird stuff here. That would probably win us more chips. Manu Manu says, mic quality seems better, my 2 cents. I do not use headphones. I think I'm pretty sure I know what it will sound like because I was hearing it when it was further away and it sounded good. It just wasn't like what I would consider like very good or something that I would want to have in the long term. 30%, 40%, excuse me, equity against the ace-10 is pretty good here. That's a nice run outs. We totally accept these ones. This was only for around the 12 big blind mark here as well, guys. And on that basis, I think we're probably good just to jam our Jack 7 suited there. I'm going to mark it for review, but I'm almost positive that we just find a push there most of the time. Those gappy connector kind of hands are just like powerhouse shoving hands if you do want to default to an all-in. Let me fire up our next game. Okay, we'll mark that one for review. We will fire up a few more tables today, guys. We do have a lot of volume to get through. And I will probably be putting in some more evening sessions. A bit annoying, actually. We are not going to Barcelona is annoying, but in Barcelona, it's annoying that I won't be able to contribute to the challenge. So that's going to be a good couple days, guys. I need to figure out how many days exactly. We have the... Oops. 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 Shit. Shit. What's going on? Oh no. Oh shit. Okay, I've minimized this table and I don't know how to open it up again. Oh my god, what the hell? Okay, there we go. What did I fold? King 5. Okay, that's not the end of the world. Sorry about that, guys. I bumped the wrong button trying to look for the calendar, and I managed to minimize everything that was open. That was really weird that it like nuked the table for us. That was super weird. Okay, anyway, we're back. So I will be in... I'm going to go to Barcelona on the 20th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 days in Barca, which will be fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to it. Barcelona is always such a special stop for so many good reasons. We do not know this guy. Okay, cool. Let's play more min raises here. Didn't notice the desk wobble. Okay, that's good. Yeah, let's just stick to a 1 big blind bet on 8-8 tray. This is a min raise pot as well. I think with the background music on and with the background music, it masks a lot of the sort of like deeper bass wobbly sounds. What's up, Martin Samuel? Good to see you, mates. Again, we're going to try and play more min raises against the unknown player here. We're going to get away with a lot more. They're going to call too wide. We're going to... Whoa. Okay. I'm going to give this credit because this is just so outlandish, but I would say probably immediately we can assume our opponent isn't going to be as studied. There's no full pot lead there. Doesn't exist. And not just that. It's not so much we're trying to be like elitist and we're like, this is not a move. It's like, there's just no conceivable move that like there's no hand that you would really like to do that with. It's not a very good way to bluff, and it's not a very good way to get value. Big ISO. Okay, cool. At this stack depth, we'll have more limps though. We're starting to get on to like 12 effective. It's a skill issue for sure, Salander. I think with the microphone positioned here as well, you'll get way less clicking and way less tapping on the mic, but obviously it's kind of in the way. It's in the middle of like where I want my sort of stuff to be. my keyboard and whatever. Okay, the 3 big blinds is too much for that hand. At the stack depth anyway. King 5, we still want to enter the pots. Folding to a min raise here is pretty ugly. King 5 is a hand that performs well against their ISO range, though. I think we're okay to just be a little bit more careful here. And the deuce 4 is also fine. We're going to limp here more than we should. 4 deuce is probably a fold against a reg. Wow. There's just no finesse here. This is probably the most important note that we can give. Splashing. Absolutely splashing around. 10-8 suited, I think, is too strong to fold to the raise here, so we're going to call. 3 big blinds is a chunk of our stack, though, so we got to be real careful. The funny thing about this sort of a style, this sort of like wrecking ball style that he's currently rocking, it's like it's just gonna work until it doesn't, and then when it doesn't, it's just gonna cost you chunks, right? Like there's like, I think this is probably it's a very common pitfall that people find themselves in. They're like, oh, I read somewhere that, you know, you should be really aggressive in poker and you should be like really bold and you should, you know, be raising and putting in bets and stuff. All of that's definitely true, but if your default bet size is just to be like, I'm all in for a million chips every time you want to bluff, or every time it comes ace 10-3, we're going to donk lead for a full pot. Like, it starts to become really a really ugly pattern of behavior that costs you a lot of chips and you don't win very much when you get it right. So like sometimes when you're playing spins, because the game is so fast, people will just shove any 2 cards for the entire game. And that is completely fine. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Maybe we could catch a bluff at some point here. I'm going to call a river bet if we need to. I might even river value bet. I don't think this is the guy that has an ace, a queen, or a king that he hasn't bet yet based on how we've played. So if we bet here, we can still get called by a 5, for example. If he does turn up with a queen, I'll be very shocked and we can make a note. But everything he's done so far has been pretty face up, right? Nine big blinds. Fair play. Queen 10, definitely the correct call. Good flop for the queen 10 of diamonds as well. Nice hand, nice hand. So the queen tray push here obviously is approved. This will just make us chips in the long run if we do this every time. This is probably also GTO. You know, on second thought in this situation, the shove obviously is not a mistake. It's going to be perfectly fine. Against this guy who plays quite face up, there's an opportunity for us to maybe just play this as a limp alternatively, and he'll just tell us if he has a strong hand. The issue that we encounter here is at this stack depth, right? We're getting very shallow. We're playing a 3x multi, you know, missing opportunities that will probably just overprint. In the fast game is probably going to be not so good. There's a lot of upside downside here. If we think our opponent is playing very face up, you know, entering more pots in a more passive fashion is going to win us chips, and it might even overperform against the shove. The problem is that this guy is also playing face up in a way where I think he probably overfolds to a jam. So it works in both directions. The shove is completely approved. This is going to be perfectly fine to be all in with here at 8 big blinds or whatever it was, 8 or 9. Against this player who's a bit more splashy, I think maybe the push is slightly better. If they are more face up and more passive, the limp massively outperforms, because we're just going to win so much when they fold, but then also they're not going to be the player that, you know, raises to 5 big blinds, or like, you know, bets huge on the flop if they connect with bottom pair, where we're not going to be able to sort of protect ourselves anymore. I think probably on balance, all good in that game. Do we get another shots? Okay, cool. 2 unknown players anyway. We'll fire up a few more tables in a bit, guys. But yeah, my plan with the mic, I think, is I need to have something probably custom built, but I'm going to get something that attaches to the desktop. Like, it's actually going to have like a proper slot for itself to, like a little, it's going to go straight into the desk, and then it will fold out so that it can be put away in the new desk room. But basically, you want kind of the base of this thing, because I bought like this big, heavy, like rubber base for it, just because there's not as much room as there would be for my arm. I really like that arm on my old one, but there's just not really space for it in the new office like this, the way it's designed. But what I'd like to do is get this so that it is attached to something that is on the solid base, which is attached to the wall, which obviously won't carry the vibrations as much through. Let's play this one as a limp here. What's up, Gilly? Good to see you, mate. We're going to have a fire at Queen 6 Deuce. Maybe 2 barrels is good here as well. Shout out to Gilly in the chat. Hello, buddy. So those of you who have been following along and care, we are making lots of progress in our honor run. We've only almost died like 3 times. But good recoveries on all occasions. It was very, very good recoveries on all occasions. Okay. So just out of interest as well, guys, as we pass that hand, there was a min-raise blind v blind at 12 effective, and we called with a queen deuce. We folded flop. I think all that's going to be kosher. What I want to do is actually take a look at that spot. I want to take a look at that spot where I want to see what the min-raise defense is there, because I have a pretty strong suspicion we're going to have to defend almost everything. It's a lot of hands. Shout out to Breastcore, friend of the stream. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that what we're going to want to do is defend loads of our high card combos, all of our suited hands. Just having absolute position and facing a min-raise is just usually enough for us to want to just be in there a lot. So we've got 2 hands already for review. 2 hands already for review, and then we actually end up playing a 20 big blind spin here as well, which is nice. Kelly says we were always going to almost die early. We're basically invincible now. We're getting there. We're getting there. Big power spike coming up. I think level 6 for me is pretty big as well. I think 6 is where I might multi-class as well. Breastcore, very good spin and go player. Has been a friend of the stream for ages as well. 9 of spades here. Pretty nice hand. We actually end up having the flush draw and straight draw, which is lovely. We're going to call a river bet if we need to. Might even consider a value bet if he checks there as well. The Observer, or whatever it was called last night, was a bit messy. It was a bit messy. It was a bit messy, yeah. I think it's called The Observer. 7, 8, 9, 10, jack. We got a gut shot. And we're going to start with the 1 big blind bet on Queen 10, 8. I would say probably we can triple here pretty aggressively. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This actually works as a triple, I think. Let's do this, and then we'll shove the river. Jack deuce. Six is huge. The Spore Zombies. Spore zombies are an exciting prospect. 2.5 with the 10s here. Queen Tray is still going to be in the hand here. Breastcore just skinned me. That's smarts. All right, we're going to do a 2.5x ISO, Ace Jack Diamonds. This is not exactly the flop that we are looking for here. I would like to see the post flop on this one as well. 2 checks. This turn is actually probably really good for us, I would say. I think now is probably a decent time to start betting. Don't get me wrong, we're not going to be excited about this turn. But on this river, we will have the best hand very often, I would say. Our opponents will end up with missed straight draws, missed flush draws here a lot, which means Ace Jack is pretty good. He decided not to bet flop, which means he probably doesn't have clubs too often, probably doesn't have a pair plus. We're going to call a river bet, though, if we need to. Yeah, 8 deuce makes sense. I think the defend there pre is good. Check flop is also probably pretty standard as well. I would be interested to see the defense range there as well. Let's mark the Ace Jack suited for review because I think probably we do check that board a lot. That doesn't mean we don't have traps as well. We will check, you know, some overpairs and stuff like that as well. But generally, I would say we're doing pretty well here in this pot. The cool thing about the way we play the hand as well is on the river, I think we catch tons of bluffs. So like maybe some high cards with a single club. I would say most flush draws will probably just try and get more chips in on the flop. I'm not saying that's going to be perfectly GTO. Like probably just a human thing is that if you ended up here with, you know, Jack 10 of clubs, you're going to probably bet flop a lot to try and get hands exactly like this to fold. So overall, the 5 is probably a card that bets a fair amount. The 6 for sure wants to bet a lot. The deuce isn't going to come into play as often. Our opponents will not have that many combinations that contain a deuce. So overall, I think this works out quite nice. I'm not going to say that I know for sure that we are betting turn in GTO, but I'd say we probably do check that flop a little bit. Limp call 8 deuce suited is probably a thing. I think it probably is going to be the GTO of the world. Sorry for the noise, guys. The washing machine will be done soon. I've actually don't really have that problem. We usually run the washing machine at night. I think check raising this flop is a thing. This probably makes sense to me. That's a good one for review as well. I do think against the 1 big blind in particular, we're going to have to pump things up there faster. Queen 4-8. This one will probably be okay. Let's see. Let's see. I think in the 2x multi, this is okay. If we look this one up, I wouldn't be surprised if Queen 4 ends up being like a hand that we probably don't shove. Like Queen 5 is probably good, and then Queen 4 is probably a limp or something stupid. Something annoying, I imagine. Man, games are reg heavy. We'll finish this one up and then we'll take a fire. Take a shot and we'll fire up some more tables. You know, let's just do it right now. Let's just do it right now. I need to find my groove here. I need to find the zone. I don't think the zone is going to be found here. Cool, good to know. Okay, let's do it. This. Just going to keep it balanced here on the right. These guys will call with the correct range, and min raising looks way too strong. Wow, that's a stupid run out. That's a really silly run out for us. Okay, new game. Let's take a flop with the JT. I'm going to try something over here on the left. This is perhaps not the turn we were looking for. Would love to make a straight here. The 6 of diamonds is not exactly what I would call a good turn. We do get checked. I mean, King Jack definitely has showdown now. There's going to be plenty of bluffs we're still beating. Kings and 6s. 10-6 suited would be kind of annoying, but we're not folding. We're not folding. Wow. Nice hand, buddy. Nice hand, senor. King Jack and a King Jack, Ace Queen and Ace Queen. Would be happy to. Would be good to have a bit more exposure to non-super regs. Not nice. This is the wrong table. Thank you. There we go. Okay, I think probably 2 barrels is pretty good here. I think just something like this is going to be a nice treat. Got a 10x multiplier on the right-hand side. This is nice. Not the best setup here, though. King of Poker and Cat. Not exactly the soft field that we were looking forward to here. Let's mark that 9-6 suited for review as well. Feels pretty good. I definitely think we're going to get... We have straight draws we can get to fold. We have clubs we can get to fold. Some 3x that can fold here as well. We're going to consider bluff catching this river now as well. I mean, I anticipate my opponent would bluff here very aggressively. I think there's a fair amount of 8x that wants to bet the turn here too, so let's give it a go. Good call. The 7 deuce offsuit bluff catch is nice. Very clear call against the reg. It's not the worst start. Terrible, terrible running straight run out for us here. This is not nice. Truly, truly, truly ugly. Okay. This is a call against a reg versus the limp. I actually don't know this one very well, but we can take a flop. We will probably just get the chips in on the flop here, I think. Over here, guys, there's a check on the turn here, which is definitely leading me to believe that we probably are winning. We're going to call a river bet here if we need to on the right, but I feel like we might miss a bet here. I think he's going to have a pair on the flop, like a 10 or a tray quite often. We got to run cycles around him. That's right. All right, let's focus up here on the 10x multi for a sec. It's a pretty good turn, chat. I would expect our opponent to bet this turn a lot as a bluff. Like a lot as a bluff. Decides to check turn. That's interesting. I think we'll just do something like this. The check on the turn, if anything, I think makes his hand a bit stronger. Or his range, I should say, not his specific hand. That's pretty huge there, guys. That's a sweaty moment for sure. That's a very, very sweaty moment. I'm going to do something super, super off-piste now. Super off-piste here. Immediately punished by the king of poker. The biggest genius I've ever played against in my life. Not sure why I thought I would ever get away with that. To be fair, in a 10x, it's quite good. He definitely has to have a hand to do that, which is why that works so nicely in a sweaty moment like this. Okay. Twice. It's going to work. The second time it's going to work. There we go. We are 50% success rate in our weird move. What a trashy hand. 10-3 off, man. Just looking at it makes me sick. Pretty clear push. I mean, pretty high up in the range. Doesn't get much higher than that. Ace Jack's a good hand. All right, here we go. Bolescu says, I heard King of Poker is looking at your live Twitch and knows your cards. That's impossible. We're on a delay, buddy. We're on a delay. You can't see my cards in real time. There's a good chance King of Poker has watched my stream, but he won't know the cards in real time. Very unlucky there with the ace-jack. That was a huge spot for us to try and get heads up, but we're still in the game. We're still out here in the mix. Can we get the 50 bucks? Okay, we're guaranteed the 50. We have at least min cashed for $50 here. Can we have a comeback now, please? That'd be fun. 4.5 big blinds. 4.5 big blinds. Start with a walk. Let's start with a walk here. All right, there we go. We got the walk. We're up to 5 big blinds now. Here it comes, guys. Here comes the train. Choo choo! Running cycles. We're running in cycles. Cycles. Chat. Here it comes. Cycles. All right, so here we go. Queen of hearts, 9 of hearts. We're going to limp. If our opponent jams, we're going to call. This is a 9 big blind special. Queen 9 of hearts. Absolutely glorious, glorious hand, by the way. Let's go ahead and bet flop. Not a great turn. There are pretty good turns for us to bet. The 4 of diamonds isn't really one of them. Yeah, this is pretty gross now, actually. It's pretty unclear how we win here. Obviously, we are planning for a couple different outcomes. Don't chop. Don't fucking chop. Hey, what's up, Grind on Tour? What's up, the Grun Boys? What's up, guys? Welcome. We're playing a 10x multiplier spin and go as we speak. Can we get the double again? Can we get the double once more, please? No! Oh, come on! Hello, everyone. Welcome from the Grund on Tour, lads. It's me, Nick Walsh, PokerStars Ambassador, and Spin and Go guy, I guess. I'm trying my hardest right now. I don't feel like the Spin and Go guy right now. Welcome, everybody, from the raid. If you guys haven't seen my stream before, give me a follow. We're playing $250,000 worth of Spin and Goes this year. That's $10,025 spins. We're currently almost halfway through. We're about 4,100 games in. And that was a 10x multiplier. We managed to win $50. But we did not manage to win the game. Bearing in mind, we had this guy all in with ace-jack for his stack before, guys. This was that way that we busted just now. This is the hand that we just busted on. King on the river, unfortunately, no good for us here. We had a couple really nice spots here towards the end. Ace-jack, ace-9 is a bit of a setup anyway, as it is, but we were all in here. This was ace-jack, queen-8. This was the eliminating hand right here for the 10x multi. Still, we managed to cash. We managed to win a little bit, so something. Let's get paid. This is a raid. You got it made. This is a fucking raid. Hello, everybody from Team 651. That's a double raider. How you guys doing? 90 of you joining us. My name is Nick. We're playing Spin and Goes. I imagine if you're watching Team 651, you're probably into Spin and Goes, which is what we're going to try and play right now. If you guys are just joining us, we're playing 10,000 Spin and Goes in 2026 on stream, or at least most of it on stream. And we are going to try our best to beat the very reg-heavy field that we're currently battling over on PokerStars. How you guys doing? If you have any questions, hit me up. Give me a follow. and let me know if I can help you in any way, shape, or form. How was your stream today, guys? Shout out to the guys from Team 651. $10x multiplier, no good. We did manage to put a couple points on the board for the 10x multi scores, though. We are currently about 4,000 games into our 10K total. We are winning. We are currently winning 44.68% of the 10x multipliers are higher, and we are ITM 74.47% of the 10x multipliers are higher. We've had some very good results. What's going on with the brightness just now? This is weird. I swear to God, my monitor just has a fucking mind of its own. Sound, picture. Okay, maybe don't do this when we have two tables open, huh? We got a gut shot. We're not folding. We got 8 of diamonds as well, which is a decent card to have if we want to bluff on a later street. Pick up a pair on the turn. Do I think we're winning? I don't know. I don't feel like we're winning. If I don't feel like we're winning, then we're calling to try and get lucky. Don't really want to turn our hand into. Okay, fine. You win. Hey, Zintex, what's up? Thank you very much. All right, guys, you'll have to bear with me in a sec. The monitor has just changed some sort of a setting, and I'm not really sure exactly what it is. Ace queen like a boss. Never lucky. Never lucky. I think we just keep value betting. Checking is actually kind of cool too, actually. Let's do that. We're going to call a river bet, of course. This was always kind of part of our plan, was to try and get value from one of those facilities. Check turn was obviously better for us here. The 7-3 of spades float, by the way. Goodness me. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Limb call 10-9 suited on the right is definitely GTO. If I had a penny for every time Queen Trey went in and was losing. The movie through your screen is malfunctioning. Yeah, the IMAX, the home IMAX theater is not functioning as expected, correct. Back-to-back second places and back-to-back 2K spins, so yay-ish. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. What are you going to do? Lovely, Jack 7 here. We are about 7.5 big blinds effective. So Jack 7's obviously going to run here. I'm going to check raise this one. Why is he sizing up his bets here? Why would you size up your bet here? This is so goofy. Why would you size up your bet on Queen 10-6 of spades? Just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, chat. Okay, fine. We had our moment. We're not gonna push the envelope. The check raise is already so sneaky. So sneaky. It could be that this room is just too bright in general. Let me see if I can find the setting, though. I think I know exactly what's going on here. I think I know what's going on. Jack 7 is the hand that got us in trouble last time. Yep, this is an ATC call. Any 2 cards required here. Okay, fine, cool, good. So, just really quickly, I'm going to look up the Jack 7. Not right now. I'm going to mark it for review so we can look it up in a bit. Fine. This was the Jack 7 where we... not that one. It was the other one. Or was it that one? It was this one. Yeah, 7.5 big blinds exactly. It's going to be on the cusp. Like, we're obviously playing Jack 7 there. I think it's like at 7 effective, we start pushing it more often, but in the faster multi against that player, I don't think it matters that much. Okay, sorry guys, give me a sec. I got to try and fix the... I mean, it looks fine now again. So basically it does this thing where in the expert settings, local dimming off. Yeah, so it does this. It does like a, to power save, it dims areas of the screen it thinks are not active. There we go. That's actually much better. Okay, cool. Okay, go away. Okay, cool. Let's go next game. All right, let's see what the multi is. Give me big money here. Come on. All right, tell you what, let's watch this one. We got 2. We got Pisco. Pisco is definitely not a bad player, not a bad spin and go player, but has a few exploits that we have labeled, which are going to work really well, but we have them. They're good against some players, but just spots that we want to have labeled. In general, I would say Pisco is more of a reg than a rec, but definitely a couple situations that we need to keep an eye out for. Absolutely no idea who Cool Vic is. No idea. Okay. Queen 7. This is not the worst flop in the world. Deceptive check on the flop. Gonna probably want to start betting now. And on the river, probably just give it a little check. He's going to have quite a few misdraws that we're going to get value from. Sometimes he will just have a 4 here once in a while too, but for the most part, we're checking to try and catch bluffs, not because we're concerned that we aren't winning. He turns up here with ace-5 offsuit, by the way. He did not shove ace-5 versus limp here at the stack depth. I think that's pretty unusual. We start this at 17 effective. He's done pretty well there. I think sometimes people can turn those combos into bluffs, but it's not something that we are expecting from a reg. Yeah, though, I don't know about that. I think versus limp there, ace-5's just got to go in the middle. I think he's missing a move there, but again, maybe in part why we still have that blue tag on. Just he does have a couple lines that are unexpected. Pocket 10s, we'd love some action here. Cool Vic, all in. No, not so cool Vic. Okay, interesting. So I think we're probably still going to end up calling here. It feels pretty bad because I feel like Pisco can just shove really aggressively here, but He can't go that wild when we're this short, so we're going to try and see a flop 4 cheap. Interesting turn now. Does betting really have any value here? Don't love it. Big blind is still kind of under-repped at this point anyway. I'd say probably we can try and bluff now. Let's just try and do something like this. Don't expect our opponents to have a 7 there as often, so it feels pretty good to try and get some other high cards to fold. Heads up for $100. Can we get 5 chips in the middle here? We love to see it, guys. I mean, we love to see it, but when this happens, the concern for kings and aces starts to flood in, doesn't it? It's okay. It's okay. It's not great, but it's definitely better than the alternative. Ooh, lovely little ace of spades on the river. Absolutely beautiful. We absolutely love that, chat. Feels so good. Love watching the river come in. We really love those rivers, chat. But hey, you know what? You know what, chat? It wasn't aces or kings, so the EV graph is fine. That's good. Okay, and then we'll do this guy, and this guy will go over here. Sorry guys, let me resize this table again really quick. There we go. Okay, we don't care. We're playing for chips. We're playing for chips. We're not playing for... We're playing for chips. We're not playing for games. We're playing for chips. We're not playing for games. Whoa, the 10-6 offsuit madness. Woo! Oh, it's a chop on the river. The top set chop. God, isn't that fucking glorious, guys? Isn't that absolutely glorious? I mean, it's really something special. This guy just shoved 10-6 offsuit. Ten six offsuit into jacks, and top set is a straight. Pretty spicy, guys. Pretty spicy. I have to say, it's all very, very spicy play here. It's incredibly spicy. We are going to check this turn. We're never folding the ace king at any point, but we're going to try and give our opponent the opportunity to make a mistake. Let's say on the turn, we might be better just getting it in, though. Maybe not. I mean, maybe we do. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we do. What's our line? If we call, are we gonna check again? That seems weird. Okay, the shove is much better apparently. Okay, cool. My friend has aces. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Definitely needs a note. Great. I think we legit made a good decision over here. Yeah, we were beating this guy. We actually made the right call there. But we are no good with the big blind having a hand here. Top set's pretty cool. This guy is an unknown player. I do feel like a check on this flop will probably get him to bluff a lot. Okay, that was a really quick check on the turn. I think more rope. Quads! Nice, we get called with quads. This is a 10x multiplier on the right hand side, guys. We get called by king high over here, so it actually worked out pretty well. Let's just do this. Right out of the gate in the 10x multiplier, guys. Sixes into ace nine. Oh, that's a lovely turn. That is a really, really nice turn in the 10xer. Let's go. $100 on the left, 250 on the right. Let's see if we can do some damage. Unknown player for the 10x. Let's go. Go on, give me some chips with the aces. Oh my god. Oh my god. For the 10x multi. Let's go, chat. What a game this one has been. That is a 10x multi. Let's go. We love that. That was a pretty good game. So we win a flip early doors. The limp call with the pair obviously is super duper standard. And then we get the aces 3-bet jam gift directly into king nine suited directly into aces. Pretty spicy. As far as I know, we're not 3-bet jamming king nine of spades in that spot. Wow, wow, wee, wah. More like that, please. That was lovely. More like that, please. That was nice. I'm kind of tempted just to shove the turn now here with this hands. Okay. Nice. Lovely stuff. We got notes on this guy. Jesus. So just going to add to my mountain of notes on that guy. I don't know what to do over here, guys. He checks the flop. Checks the flop, and what in actual God's name is that turn? What do you... Okay, first of all, hero call over here against King of Poker. Fantastic. We check raise this flop. It's deuce 4-6. We've check raised the flop with king 9 of spades. Get called by ace high with hearts. We both turn top pair at the same time. Like, what the actual fuck is that turn? This is like not right. This is genuinely sick. This guy cannot win this pot unless he turns an ace or a 9 in his hand. And we have a fucking 9 in our hand, dude. Come on. It's like legitimately not cool, dude. How the fuck do we run like that, man? Convince the guy to put it in with ace high, no draw. On like the lowest, wettest texture of all time, and he just gets a gift on the turn. It's absolutely sickening. It's so filth, dude. It's not his fault. Aside from us having piles of equity on the flop, obviously. Just lost it. We hero called King of Poker for the whole stack, and then we lose 2 flips to lose the game. Very cool. Oh my god. What the fuck do we call those? What do we actually call those? I don't know what we're supposed to call those because it's not right. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely river. Real good, real good. Real good. Come on, give me something here. 2x multi, I don't know either of these guys. Oh, mate, that's annoying. That is really annoying. That's true. That's true, Tom. We only care about EV, but that was a good example of a spot where our EV was just fucking rocked because the guy got lucky on the turn. If he does not improve on the turn, we win the spot. And he has to improve in a way that improves us in order for us to play our hand this way. Do this. Can I king high hero call this river is the question. Can I king high hero call this river where he's gonna have straight draws, flush draws, trip fives. To be fair, this is not the size he uses if he's bluffing. He's not that sophisticated. He's not that. He's a really good poker player, but I don't think that this is the size he would use to bluff, really, in the grand scheme of things. He put the chips in good there. Where's that 9? I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that at all. I'm really not a fan. It's not right, but it's okay. I'm going to call it anyway. Exactly. Oh, poker, man. Poker. Okay. Not playing for chips. Not playing for games. We're playing for chips. That's all. We're just playing for chips, guys. That's right. We're just trying to make chips. That's right. We're just trying to make chips. We're just trying to make chips, guys. Just chips. Just trying to make chips. Just gonna try and win chips. That's all we can do. Tom says, loving the fast play today. Gets more games in more hands in the smaller multis. It's true. Having the hotkeys has made a big difference though as well, Tom. Having my special all-in corner button there definitely speed things along. Anyway, we're gonna just chillax here. Ooh, this one probably is not a million miles off. We're gonna chillax. We're getting stressed out. We don't need to get stressed out. We need to just shut up and just play our goddamn cards. We need to stop whinging and just play the cards and just try and win the chips. That's all we need to do. This is all we need to do. Okay, let's try something here. We hit a 4. It's a pretty ugly situation for us, probably. And now our player is all in. Okay, wow, there we go. Fine. Sorry, guys. I don't know why you lost the table here. Okay, we didn't have it work for us this time. With this. Wow, we just value jammed 10-8 of spades here. That was cool. Okay, we lose a flip there. This is not what you want to do, though. We're going to trap pocket fives here. Okay, it's not a trap if they have you absolutely crushed, but that's fine. Still the same move. Never going to miss the spot. Just... we might install the boombox again, Tom, but actually I wanted to do something else with that anyway. That was just a test to see if we could get it to trigger with a single button. We need to finish the office still. The office is still a work in progress here. There's other bits that we need to finish on the office before anything else. Okay, have a bet. Ugh, that's not nice. I'm going to triple barrel bluff here on the left. All right, watch me go, guys. We're about to bluff it all off into the universe. Has this guy ever folded a queen before in his life? Apparently, yes. We're trapping a 6 of diamonds over here. Pretty nice flop. Pretty nice flop. No action with the king jack of diamonds. Like to attack those limps, don't they? Ooh, hello. Pretty cool flop. I don't think we're going to slow down here. If they have the hearts, they got the hearts. That's fine. Good luck, mate. It's lovely. Yeah, really cool. Not a hand that they wanted to get in on the flop, apparently. Very cool, mate. Very cool. I'm going to try and trap him this time. They've been attacking our limps as jams. Have a bet on the flop. Wow, we were in like garbage in that game. Fuck, we get a walk with aces here. Gonna trap 8s again. Okay, on this board, we are going to go crazy. Thank you very much for the follow. That was Robates. What's up? Thanks, dude. Also, thank you for the follow, RT Soninja. Appreciate that. Trapping ace jack. Trap activated. Let's go. Justice was served this day. Justice was served this day. Justice was served today. But it is not this day. Presents. Got him. Directly into aces. Great stuff. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Wish I had aces once. Would be fun, wouldn't it, guys? Right, VReg, the King 7 call is going to be correct at 10 specifically, even more so. Okay, let's do this. Not the flop we're looking for here. Oh, where's the all-in? Where was the all-in? Oh, man. Just has nothing, huh? Just got absolute air. The trap check actually was very good there. It just doesn't bluff. Do I see the difference in color? Very, very slightly, yes. But also that's because Danas is a friend of the stream. Terrible runouts. Yeah, great. That was fairly obvious that was happening, wasn't it? Okay, queen high for the win over here on the right, maybe. Would be fun. All right, can we grind our way out of here? Can we grind our way out of this one on the left here? Can we grind our way out of here, chat? That's a good spot. It's a good spot, chat. It's a good spot. Trap ace 9 of hearts. Calling the shove every single day of this week. So in response to your questions, chat, can we grind our way out of here? The answer is absolutely fuck yes. The answer is absolutely, unequivocally yes. Value bet river with a 5. Gets paid. King of poker. Calling with king high like a boss. Immediately gifted. Immediately gifted. GTFO. All right, let's start bluffing here. Let's start bluffing here on the left. Oh, meant to bet the turn there. Okay, in that case, we're going to play the hand differently. This was a misclick on the left. Nice. We managed to maybe catch a little bluff there on the right. You just bet the flush draw. We were going to bet more. That was just a misclick, guys. We're going to check raise this flop if he bets. If not, we're going to start leading chonky. Oh, that was also a misclick, guys. Damn it. We need to calm the fuck down because we're misclicking twice in a row now. King of Poker made a full comeback after we misclicked as well. Not good, not good. Absolutely unacceptable. Now he's punishing us. Fantastic work, Nick. Fantastic work there. Wow, that's unlucky. We've had this guy all in twice. That time we had him locked up. We do manage to get the King of Poker all in here, though. Cool. All right, let's play this one aggressively. Let's play this one as a jam. I mean, Queen 4 should never win this, guys. This is such an ugly hand. Does not deserve to win in the slightest. Does not deserve to win at all. Trap ace 10. Go on, you can be all in here if you want. There we go. Pretty good spot. This is no bueno. Don't be doing this, guys. It's too crazy. Too crazy pokers. This is too crazy. Okay, better. Let's keep going, guys. We got this. We're playing through. We're not going to get stressed out today. I will not allow myself to become frustrated. We're fucking professionals, goddammit. We are professional poker players, okay? We're not gonna allow this nonsense to frustrate us. because we're better than that. I refuse to allow any of this nonsense to slow us down. The king of poker can grind as many tables as he wants. We can play poker just as well, okay? We're both good players. We both have to coexist in this space. We're just going to play around. We're just going to play for the chips. We're going to make good decisions. That's all we can do. We are not going to tilt ourselves out over some random nonsense. Jack 7 of hearts is very, very reasonable here. You get unlucky there, but that's okay. We're going to stop misclicking as well. We're going to think about these spots. We need to slow it down. We need to really, really slow it down. Aces for 4 big blinds. Come on, somebody give us a spin, mate. King of poker. There we go. That's nice. What? What the fuck? We run into aces all day long. Completely standard. Then we get our allotment of aces and he has aces? So stupid. It's actually so stupid, mate. It's hilarious. It's actually so stupid. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, mate, that's so silly. That's actually so silly, mate. Also, yeah, where is the 100x? Tom's got a point here. Where is that 100x multi? Probably could have checked that one too if we wanted to be really cool. All right, we got some notes here. Josh gives us 3 big blinds. He could have bet 2.5, but he decided to go super big in this game. All right, 10-4. We gonna keep blasting. Is the hotkey the reason for the misclick? No, I just completely didn't notice how short he was on both occasions. The hotkey is distinctly, like, it's very difficult to misclick that one. It was me just misclicking because I made the wrong decision in my brain and I clicked the wrong button. As in the wrong button on screen, not the wrong button on my mouse. Yeah, aces into aces, so stupid. So stupid. Sure. This is a pretty big flop. Look at the flop here, guys. This is a really, really nice turn. Bob, what are the notes here? All right, let's give Bob some ammo here. Babu, if you have clubs, you're about to win, buddy. If you got clubs, you win. We got him, chat. We got him. We're going to trap Josh the boss over here. Josh the boss. Joshua is a boss. Boshua. Joshua is a Boshua. Let's go. These are some clean ass games, guys. Clean ass games. Joshua the Boshua. Come on, give me the tray. Pretty unreasonable, if you ask me. Oh, this could be a good spot. Could be a good spot. Well, when I say that we absolutely rinsed him, I'm not lying. It was a good situation for us. However, we did not win the all-in the end. Now we are all in with this ace-10. Danas! Nick wins on a combo draw and says nothing. What do you want from me, Thomas? Where was my queen 4 diamonds? Was that in the previous game? Queen 4 diamonds? Oh, that was queen 4 offsuit. We don't want that one. Queen 4 DD. Why can't I find it? Queen of diamonds, 4 diamonds. Here it is. Can't lose. Can't lose. Comeback is real. Not quite. The straight, the 8-6 straight is the hand I wanted to look at here. Danas. Not a ton we can do here with the queen 10. Pretty standard. That was actually we're only short stacked in that game because we got unlucky with the ace jack, which is good. It's because we're playing for chips, guys. We don't even care about games. We're not even interested. We don't even care about games at all. Games do not interest us in the slightest. You say, hey, Nick, do you want to win a game? I'm like, I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm not interested. I really, sincerely don't care about winning games. All I want to do is win chips. And if I win games along the way, fine. We accept that. I'm willing to accept that. Check. Massacre. Ooh, interesting turn. Come on, if this guy's got a queen, I'm gonna be very, very sad. And especially now. 3 pair. How can we lose with 3 pair, by the way, guys? Easy game. Our opponent he has an 8. He was losing anyway. Let's do this. He was losing on the turn. Ace King is a good hand, chat. This is a really good hand. Can we get a 3-way all-in going here? Can we get the treble? Can we get the treble in the mix? Nice. Nice on both sides. The Ochos are unlucky there. Ace 8 suited, absolutely mandatory call for 10 big blinds here, though. Cannot miss that one. Not even in my wildest dreams. Cannot miss that move in my wildest dreams. Ace 7 of spades, we can still trap. On us. I actually don't like this braggy one. Can we give him the strag nod? The strag nod is cool. We hit an 8 on the right hand side. We're unlucky with the king tray. This guy opens to 3x pre-flop, right? I mean, we can't fold. If this actually is a strong hand, it's a very weird way to play it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like king queen or something like that, but we're not going to fold here in a million years. Our opponents just are not going to play their very strong hands in this manner. And if it is just like aces and this guy just doesn't know what to do with aces, then fair play, we'll write it down. But I would say we probably want to write that down regardless, so we're not lazy. Check. Pots. I mean, we must win. Okay, so this is a limped pot. Check on the flop. Bets turn. We have a club blocker. I don't know if he would value bet a queen like this. Yeah, story does not check out Danas. Trap kings. Trap kings from out of position. We're going to call a riverbed of any size. Hey, what's up, everybody from Easy with Aces' stream. Easy with Aces is. How you guys doing? My name is Nick, PokerStars ambassador and spin and go geezer, I suppose is fair to say. We're currently playing $25 spin and goes. This year, we're going to play 10,000 spin and goes on stream, a little bit off stream as well. And that is the equivalent of $250,000 worth of poker played in the year 2026. We're about halfway through it, and we are in the middle of a session. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the chat. Let me know if I can be of any assistance, and we're going to keep grinding out here. Really quick, sorry guys, I was looking at this specific spot here. I was distracted as the raid came in because I was looking at this one. So yeah, this one we have noted, guys. The guy opens to 3x pre. Actually, we should probably label that as well. At 14. So opens to 3x, we defend the 8-7 suited. We're definitely going to defend fewer hands against the 3x, obviously, but these very powerful hands we still want to call. We arrive here. As soon as your opponent does 11 into 6, it's not really a thing. Most people who have, you know, a hand like aces or kings or whatever, they want to try and play it slower. This isn't the kind of board where they feel like they're going to get tons of action. So a lot of times this just ends up being like a flush draw or a gut shot, or just like, you know, ace king, because they don't know what to do with ace king and they feel like they can get folds on this board. So they rip it in like this, and we still call, and he has queen high, which is great for us. The other hand that I wanted to mark, though, the massacre over here. So this was an interesting one. We have 8-10. We check call flop. On the turn, we check call 2. On the river, it goes check check. Our opponent turns up with the 3-pair trickery here. And I don't think that this is... I think that's probably enough enough sort of note for us here. Love to write. How you doing? Welcome to the stream as well. Thank you again for the raid. Really appreciate that. Hope Finty's stream was fantastic. How is Finty getting on? How was the sesh today? All right, 2 tables of joy. Let's fire up 2 more tables and let's try and take some more souls here. We're actually having a bit of a renaissance at the end of this stream here. We are warming up just a smidge. Sorry, guys, wrong tables. Sorry, guys, wrong effing tables. Here we go. Eight, 7, ace, 9. This is pretty standard blind v blind. The shove is going to happen. It's going to be GTO. The 8-7 is going to be a mix. It's like a mix between steal, limp, and shove. It's one of those hands that does fine in all categories. Let's fold there. Let's see about this for 1. Okay, cool. So just aware of the fact ace king does have showdown here. I think betting again is probably fine. That was a very quick call on the flop. Sometimes that indicates, you know, a 4, a 3, or a spade. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to fire a big turn. Generally speaking, we don't really want to be turning ace king into a bluff, but I have a very specific read on that spot against this specific player that we have noted. And so for that reason, I think we're doing really well here by just going again. In some cases, we're actually value betting against that range too. Can we get heads up against Shannara? That would be nice. Lovely. We will review all of our stats at the end of today's stream, guys. And we will also be taking a look at our hands for review as well. And we'll go into the chart pack and some GTA Wizard and stuff like that once we're off stream. Yeah, we were forced all in over here because we were short. I think betting here is fine. I think checking is also cool. Yeah, I think this is fine. We're gonna bluff the river though. 10 high has showdown here. Thing is, I don't think a 6 or a 7 is gonna fold. I take it back. Let's get to showdown. Nice. We don't need to turn 10 high into a bluff here. If I felt confident we could get some smaller pairs to fold, I would prefer it against this player specifically, but otherwise this is good. Ace-8 of diamonds is pretty much the nuts here. Pretty much the best hand ever invented at 10 big blinds effective. That was the spin version of DJ Khaled GIF. Love to write. 1 second. I'm going to look at that in just a mo. Yeah. Short session for Finn today. He streamed a lot in the last 4 days, so called it early. Fair play. Fair play. It happens to all good streamers when you're putting in the hours. I think it is very good and healthy to take some shorter streams. I mean, I can't talk shit about anything really when I as someone who does generally very short streams compared to people like Fincy, Spraggy, Lex. Those guys do absolute marathon streams compared to my stuff. Plus, what day is it? It's Wednesday anyway. What did we miss in this hand? King 4. We shove King 4 for... Yeah, this is fine. We just run into a hand. Prince will fine. Let's see a flop here. Not folding. 7-4. 2-barrel from Prince here would be pretty good actually as a bluff, I think, but we'll see how he goes. Okay, yeah, this player, we're just gonna do these. I think we can probably even do some of this here. Start bluffing. I'm going to potentially I'm going to overbet bluff this river, guys. Wish me the best of luck. I'm trying to get him to fold a 10 or a deuce or the spades or the clubs. Yeah, still a nice line. This is exactly the hand we're targeting here, and I think we've actually picked a good combo to do it with as well. We really should not be trying to bluff players who we have labeled like this, but that is okay. That's all part of it. I think on this occasion, it's actually fairly reasonable to target, just because we really kind of know where we're at. There's two classifications of hands that immediately give up, like immediately there anyway, right? So the fact we size up is just to target the 10, but also there are 2 flush draws and a bunch of other random shit that will snap fold there. So I think it's actually very good. Just because somebody like isn't easy to get to fold doesn't mean that we shouldn't be taking those spots. Like it's not, we shouldn't be avoiding a spot that's as good as that when there's 2 missed flush draws. Got 2 missed flush draws, that's fine. There's 2 missed flush draws on the board. There's missed gut shots. The 10 can still fold. The deuce can still fold. It's just a really good spot. We're blocking the straight as well, which obviously also is important to note there. Anyway, we're back in the mix with Shinar. We got the double. We can grind ourselves out of here for sure. QB says, well, short streams kind of fits the spin and go format. That's true as well. Yeah, obviously that makes sense. Yeah, it's difficult to compare the two, isn't it? It is difficult to compare MTTs and spin streams. All right, King, Queen. We're going to do a big ISO. Nice. We get it in good against Queen 5 suited. 10, please. 10 for justice. Get out of my life. Get out of my life. Thank you very much. We absolutely deserve that one, chat. It was our game. We were the one in the driver's seat there. We have a flush. It's not a very good one. Why is Zelzel betting 1 big blind on the turn? Absolute freak. Nice hand, sir. Trap ace king here against Zelzel. Maybe. This might be genius. Looks like it might be. Looks like it actually might be genius. Might be legitimate genius. We're not sure. People don't really know. This is fine. This is fine. This one is... We're going to go 2 streets here. In fact, we might even triple this one. Potentially. We might get called by a 6 here, but I do think 2 barrels is really good. 3 barrels, excuse me, is really good on this board. Nice 2 pairs, also good. Our opponent just got the 2 pairs. Interesting, he doesn't check raise there. I think on that specific texture, the not check raise is very good against a reg, because you know that they're capable of bluffing. What GTO will probably say there is we want to check raise all of our 2 pairs, but I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think the slowdown is actually very good against a player like myself, but I still feel good about the line because I think regs will also have to call with 2nd pair flop, 3rd pair turn, so on and so forth, and then be in a tough spot on the river. Wow, that's a really good looking flop. And our opponent is leading into us here. They're leading again. So at this point, you know, he might have spades. He's probably just going to have a 10 quite often. Could be a catastrophic river. We're about to find out. Okay, no, it's not. That's fine. If he trap checks spades here, I'll be very, very surprised. The people that like to lead their spade draws will never miss the chance to be all in here. In fact, against this player, I'm so confident I'm just going to do this and hope for the best. And this is a check, unknown player, check fold this board a lot, so just do this. Let's start barreling turn now. This is the right size against the shorter stack. It's a shame. Doesn't really feel like he has much on the turn there. I think there is an opportunity to check again if you want to be really sneaky at that super short stack depth. Jack 10 into ace 10, pretty unlucky. Definitely a push here, blind v blind. We do not want to miss that move, otherwise we're not going to be winning enough chips in the small blind as a non-showdown player. Two unknowns on the right. Can we get some big multiplier action, please? Okay, that's pretty good. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Yeah, we'd love to see a flop with 10-9 of spades if we can. 8 of spades is a good start. Looking for a 7 on this turn though, if we can. Okay, fine. We're gonna peel once. Doesn't look like we're gonna get much joy here though. Check, 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 check. Can't continue. Probably not yet. Let's do 1 on the turn. We'll do 1 on the turn. We'll bet river again if we need to here on the left. No, not against this player. King 9 of diamonds. If we limp here, we got to call a shove, but we will do that if we need to against this guy. Saini is a very good player. I'm happy to just get this in like this. Diamonds are so incredibly live. We can look that one up later, but I'm about 99.9% sure that's the line against the reg. Yes, we wouldn't usually limp queen 4 here against the unknown player. In the 3x, we're okay to do so. 9-6 isn't going to go here. Hey, what's up, Smeeble? Good to see you, mates. Pocket 5s. We can limp here against Donis. As a trap, we're going to limp jam if we can. This one is probably still okay. Where are we at? This guy's kind of sure this fine. Ooh, a set of 5s is nice. We like that. Set of 5s is a good thing. Just keeping it balanced there. We're going to bet the king high board as a bluff quite often, so we need to do the same against the reg. Otherwise, it becomes a bit unbalanced. Float here with the intention to bluff or improve to the 4. He'll check the turn a fair amount. Ooh, okay, 1 second. 1 big blind float. We can still bluff if he checks river here. Interesting. I think he might have a 10. I don't think he has an ace or a king. Should we give it a try? Queens. We were right. Did not have an ace or a king. Still a good bluff catching hand. We want to make some notes about that specific encounter though. For sure. So first of all, we want to note the... This is an interesting spot to look at as well, guys, because this isn't the way that we would behave against a reg, because we sort of represent very little. We actually end up representing very few hands, but we've correctly identified that he does not have the strong hands he's trying to represent on this board. The 1 big blind, 1 big blind, 1 big blind spot has clearly identified he's got some sort of showdown that he doesn't feel confident on this board with, that he's trying to get to showdown. He's not trying to induce us with 1 big blind here, guaranteed, right? if we make this move and then he turns up here with, you know, ace five, then we've clearly just like underestimated how this player is gonna play this hand. God, I wish we could just replay this fucking hand. Super annoying. We got to do this. Okay. So we start 8 big blinds effective. So first thing we got to note is limp 8 effective was queen queen trap. On the flop, definitely got to call at least once. On the turn, when we get here, now suddenly we're starting to correctly identify that this is not an ace, this is not a king, this is not queen jack, blah blah blah. We have a pretty good price to try and win this pot at showdown anyway. When we float, when he bets 1, we still have the gut shot. So we have like 4 cards. We've got about 8% equity or something like that to actually improve directly into the straight. And like I said, when we're seeing this pattern, we're also noting that he probably is not very confident about the strength of his hand, right? So it could be that he never folds queens because, you know, like he trapped queens and now he feels really like invested in it and now he wants to call. But he always folds a 10, he always folds a 5, and he plays a 10 and a 5 exactly the same way, right? So just because we ended up in this situation where the board is run like this, and we've correctly identified that he's not particularly strong on this texture, and we've exploited it, and he makes a call with queens, this could be like the absolute god line, the god exploit line against this player. It just turns out that he has this specific combo that he is not going to fold. Like, he's not going to fold queens and jacks, but he'll fold the queen high and the 10 and the 5 and the pocket 8s and the pocket 9s and all that shit. He could just as easily have pocket 7s here, right? Same kind of hand, same kind of concept. Anyway, I like this spot. I think this is fine, even though it's not a nice outcome for us here. The important thing to note, though, as well, is that, in fact, we forgot to finish our note there. We want to note that he has a trap at 8, which is really, really good to know because we can keep an eye out for that in future. But also, we wanted to note that he min-donk 3 streets on ace king 10 low. Okay, cool. And then we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this. All right, and we'll get back to the grind here. Okay, let's keep it up. This is good intensity, guys. This is very good intensity. I think we're playing really well. We had a couple spots not go our way just now, but that's definitely not an issue. I think all of them were very reasonable spots. I think all of them were super duper aggro reg style, but that's okay. Like, when you keep that pressure on players, especially players that you've identified, you know, are probably less experienced, you keep that pressure up, and your red line will sustain you. That was like 2 or 3 bluffs in a row against players I knew were probably like not thrilled about folding their hands. But every single one of those spots, I think, was actually a very good one for us. And actually, all of them had a lot of upsides. We just ran into the strongest part of the range that they didn't want to fold. Ace King's a good hand. Okay, so we got we're gonna do this. Pocket 3s. honestly don't know. All right, we have another opportunity here. We got Shannara on the left here. Unfortunately, it's just a 2x multiplier because we want more chips in the games where we're playing against the less experienced players. Generally. Heads up against Shannara, a little bit deeper stack though, at least. That's kind of cool. The Queen 9 call here is pretty close against King of Poker. We're just going to run it. It's going to be fine. And a 3x multiplier as well. All right, we're going to try and get a little bit more now as well. Such as this fire. This seems good. Got him. Ace 10. Ace 4. 10-5 of hearts as a call is pretty wild here. Do not think that's a thing. Can get another Shannara game. Oh, no. 2 unknowns though. 2 unknown players is pretty cool. Again, the 2x multi not ideal. Let's do one of these here. And then we'll do a big bet here as well. Super fucking annoying board. That's just like insta-fold board for almost every single situation there. Super, super, super annoying board for a c-bet raise. And now he's just getting it in with Queen 3 of spades. Very, very, very impressive run outs. Not such an impressive call. That's a real gamble call. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. This one. This one. Top pair is pretty good against these players. Against this guy, at least. Yeah, they're going to go... All right, wish me luck, guys. I really hope he doesn't have a queen. That would be bad for us. King of Poker. Does he ever just call with a 7? Do we ever just see a call from a 7? We're not folding on the right-hand side, guys. We are absolutely never folding. We get unlucky here, but after what we just saw with the Queen 3 of spades, we can never fold a hand that strong against this player. Really, really stupid turn, by the way. Pretty stupid turn for us there. We put in chunks on that flop. We probably should have bet even bigger than that, to be honest, but you know, we're not making a mistake, obviously. King of Poker ISOs and then checks. That's interesting. Okay. He might just be giving up. It might have just been a big ISO bluff, and now he's giving up with his 7 deuce and whatever. Okay, this is a very specific spot now, guys. I don't know if King of Poker is the kind of guy to trap check the biggest stuff on this flop, and I feel like he might just have the absolute bottom of his range here. He does have the bottom of his range. It just so happens to be the straight as well. Nice hand. That was definitely going out on a limb against a really good player, but it was the check give up that we were making reference to. It just so happened to be the gut shot that got there as well, like a real genius. Okay, so let's go to over here. He's so good. I think there's something very, very difficult about playing somebody who always has the best hand regardless of what hand they start with. And that is the King of Poker all over. Double Buddha, what's up? Good to see you. Hey, Nick, good to see you. No summer holiday for you. I mean, we've done loads of traveling this year. Just got back from Vegas. I mean, that was more of a summer holiday than anything else, really. Just got back from Vegas. We're going to Barcelona at the end of this month for EPT, which will be more worky than it will be anything else, but there we go. The Barcelona will be beautiful. I mean, we're doing so much traveling this year. In my average year, Double Buddha, I very rarely ever have a trip that I would consider like a summer holiday, which maybe is something I should make an effort to do more of. But a lot of the work trips that we do are obviously to really beautiful destinations, so we get a lot of fun that way too. For example, obviously Monte Carlo was a lot of fun this year. Good weather in Monte Carlo this year too. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're here for the chips, please. We're here for the chips, please. Sorry, guys, wrong click. Got a $100 game against two unknowns. That's nice. Double Buddha says, nice. How is Vegas? Is it as empty as they claim, or is it just propaganda? Okay, so like Vegas is undoubtedly a lot quieter than it once was. That's a really nice turn. Vegas is definitely a lot quieter, but just in general, I think Vegas has gone downhill quite a lot. Okay. I think we're just gonna flat, and then we're gonna trap the river. Three of clubs is such an annoying river for us, actually. We'll just have to do this now. Not because we're bluffing or anything. Obviously, we're just trying to get the chips in there where we have the best hand quite often. The trap check doesn't work on the club river as often, which is annoying. Okay, so he raised, now he's checking, so we can obviously take a back seat here. Spade would be nice, especially if he's trap checking like ace, king, ace, jack. We pick up a pair to go with our hand. This is going to be a big ISO bluff. We're going to call the 4. Any 6 and 5 and spade would be cute here. That's not the river that we were looking for, was it? Ah! How do we miss those combo draws, man? For real. Get out of my life. Not fun, dude. He gives us every single... He gives us a street for free, and we improve with more equity. And we still miss. Like, dude, just please. Double Buddha. Vegas was so much fun. I'm so grateful that I went. I went with the Hippodrome Casino as well. So they were sorting out accommodation for me. It was a great group of people. It was a super fun trip. I'm really, really pleased that I went. It was a lot of fun. Vegas for me is going downhill. I think it's way too expensive. I think the quality for what you pay for is not like, it's not in alignment whatsoever. I think that the companies have become extremely greedy with the way that they deal with gambling in general. I still love playing poker there. Obviously, I still love the games there. And Vegas itself is very hostile to my body for some reason. Like I never get chapped lips. I never like really have issues with dehydration or anything like that. As soon as I get off the plane in Vegas, oh my God, like it's bad, man. It's bad. My body living at sea level in Brighton with the cool, moist sea breeze air coming off of the water and all that is, you know, it's a good thing for me apparently. And that's what I'm used to. So when I go out there, it becomes, it's a tricky one. Super annoying spots. Okay, cool. 100, no good. Okay, let's keep it focused here, guys. We're on a bit of a tear there. We're getting kind of unlucky in these situations now. But Vegas is definitely a lot quieter. Like, but it's like I don't understand all of the specifics of it, but it strikes me that Vegas is much quieter in terms of footfall, but the average spend per customer is so much more. I don't think it matters that much to the companies, outside of like they can no longer afford to employ people to deal with huge crowds of people, where they just would prefer to have more affluent individual clientele. Like I know that Vegas monetarily has taken a hit, but I think that was kind of by design anyway. It seems like it does seem like they're trying to cater for a more expensive average spend per person, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to talk about it with any real knowledge. I'm mostly just sort of spitballing on the way it feels, but it does feel very greedy. Like we were in Planet Hollywood and we went out to dinner and we came back to Planet Hollywood and we were shooting craps, and everyone, there was like a full table and it was like a $15 min bet. And if you guys don't play craps, $15 min bet on craps is like a lot. Like you're probably going to be gambling at least like 45 bucks plus any other bet. So it's like maybe like a $50 min bet per roll. Once you're like on the point or whatever it's called. So under those circumstances, right, already a kind of a pricey game. We were in the middle of a shoot and they increased the maximums in the middle of a shoot. Like it was crazy. There was chips all over the table. Everyone was having a nice time. It was a nice group of people. Everyone was behaving themselves. Everyone was really like chirpy and like fun. And in the middle of a really fun shoot, they brought it up to a $25 min shoot. And it's like, so people were punting like 45 bucks a throw. And now all of a sudden they're doing like 75. It was like, it's a absolutely ginormous increase. And they did it right in the middle of the game, and everyone just wanted to like leave, and it just felt really, really, really ugly, man. Feels pretty ugly, dude. All right, let's play this one as a min steal, and we're gonna have a small bet on this board. We'll just min raise this one against the unknown player. Ace 5 and Ace 8 unlucky. Definitely just a 3-bet jam with the Ace 5 here. Heart. Nice hand, dude. This guy has a problem with me. He's always throwing trash on me. Guy's never seen a 3-bet bluff before in his life. No, let's minimize this one. All right, against the unknown player, we're just going to bet big here. We don't need to be balanced. We're trying to get value from the hearts. We're trying to get value from worse ace combos. I expect him to fold this flop a lot of the time, but we're just trying to get, you know, as much as we can from this specific player. Wow. Check raised a half pot bet and then folded. That's actually probably really good for us. I mean, for the most part, though, we want to just get the chips in there like they're not going to fold. They'll do that with the hearts as well, which is obviously not good to give him free cards, but as played, we win chunks at non-showdown there. Getting 5 big blinds in the middle and then getting them to fold is pretty good as well, to be fair. Had a chance there. Against Sir Blackroll, we should probably call this one. The Reg v Reg battles, blind v blind, are just going to be a lot of push folds. Ace 4 offsuit feels, you know, really gross, but we can see here clearly like he's pushing the correct hands. So we need to stick to our guns in these situations. Heads up against the unknown player for 75 bucks. An opportunity to win some serious dollars. 5 trade jam here. No, don't do this. Don't do this. Open shove, 10 effective. Was 5-3 off. It was like 10 big blinds. It was 10.5. Wow. That's fine. That's enough of a note. Okay, so the player on the button here on the right, we have a note, is playing a very wide range of hands, and also probably the kind of player where we want to size up our bets considerably to get more value from their draws, for example. Not a good flop for us here. Let's do a 2x steal on this one. And then let's do a limp here. Okay, we're going to bluff again. I don't think he's got an ace, so I guess that's probably a good spot for us to bluff. If he does have an ace, fair enough, but I think we just win that pretty much every time. We get called by queen 10 on the left with the best hand. Not ideal. So on the right, this is a very specific one. When our opponent leads for 1 big blind here, I do not believe he has an ace. I think he's going to have a club draw or a 9 more often, which means we probably still need to call the 1 big blind. We end up with a straight draw on the turn, which really helps. We're still calling 1 again for the same reason, this time with more equity. And now we have the Omega Nuts. And we know this guy previously does not like to fold. So I think going for anything less than all of it when we have specifically noted this guy does not like to fold is probably a mistake. If this was an unknown without the note, we can probably just raise to like 5 or something like that. Yeah, Mac, it's not GTO, I know. We'll have to look it up later, buddy. What's up, QB? Good to see you. Good to see you, hombre. The ace-queen limp trap at the stack depth as well is also really not good. Limp button. Multi-way. 5 effective was ace-queen off trap. Like, don't get me wrong, he's getting the chips in, and that's okay. But, like, the shove there is so much more valuable than a limp. Inducing or giving the small blind to the big blind an opportunity to enter the pot for free with ace-queen off is just going to be not good. And then also finding yourself in a situation like that. Oh, shit. Okay, this might not be the worst flop of all time. It could be very bad as well. We're not sure. We'll see in a sec. Oh, it's very, very good. It's very, very good. Ace deuce of spades is the nuts. Queen of spades. Oh my god, we called it as well. Fantastic. Love to see that. All right, four big blinds now for our friend. Let's not let up on the push. Running into nines here, pretty unfortunate. We're just going to get these chips in the middle and hope for the best. On that occasion, running into nines, pretty unlucky. Still chips to play. And jack deuce against this player. We can actually do something slightly alternative. 4 big blinds in the 2x multi is difficult to ignore, though. Queen 7's good enough. Nice getting a walk with jack deuce, feels good. Ace 4 should win that pot on the left-hand side, though. I'm going to bluff the flop. We have a pair now. Don't necessarily need to bluff. Pretty good run out. Yeah, baby. We get called by 4 high on that river, by the way, guys. He had 4 high. He called the all-in with. I told you, this guy, he's not a happy bunny playing spins. Does not like playing spins with me for some reason. Anyway, that was a great game for us, chats. That was a very, very good game for us on the right. We're going to go again. We got Kev's again. I want to see that spot. All tables, we get deuces. I know it was 10 deuce, wasn't it? 3. He floated with 3-4 of diamonds where he had. He floated with 3-4 of diamonds where he had 4 high and then backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. We have a flush draw on the right hand side. He gives us a really nice price here now as well. Please, please the heart. Please the heart. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. Okay. So I'm going to bluff like this, guys. I don't anticipate him to fold an ace or a queen, but when he checks the flop, bets the turn, checks the river, I do think he might just have hands he wants to fold. We're going to try. Pretty fancy. The 1.5 big blind value bluff feels pretty fancy, guys. It's pretty fancy. Let's definitely have a bet here, and then let's call to 3. Do we bluff this turn? Ooh, that might be a good river. We're not sure yet. Our hand is really well disguised. I think a big bet is good. King of Poker's too strong, too powerful. This is a weird one on the right. Obviously, these limp pots are super goofy. I think we're still calling. The club, the ace of clubs is obviously a particularly wet sort of river here. And I think we're definitely good to fold at this point. There we go. Yeah, fine. Nice. Top set of jacks. Let's make a note on that one too. We want to see how that turned out. So close this one. Get this in blue. Oh, that was unlucky. Okay, and then we'll get this player in blue. Why is this not working? button, multi-way, 14 effective, was check. Super important note there. Meanwhile, that's the third all in. That's lost by Queen 10. It is indeed, yeah. I was trying not to count, but Jack 3 clubs, nice hits. This is obviously going to be a Nash push, rang into forest, whatever. That happens. Now let's see if we can go to work here for the 14 big blinds he's got behind here. Calling them in 3-bet all day long. Folding the flop every time. All right, pocket queens, blind v blind. Julian, one of the super regs here at the 25s. I think he plays higher as well, I'd imagine. He's about to 3-bet jam ace 4 off. Damn. This one is going to go into the min-raise category. This is a nice flop. That's a shame. I think we could probably afford to check that board once in a while. Without the diamond, though, it's definitely a good spot for us to just barrel and keep it balanced, too. But the balance isn't nearly as important here as one might imagine, but I think we can get a lot of chips there if he connects it all. We will be betting this turn. We're going to bet something like this. Why are we getting check raised on this turn, guys? This is super annoying, gang. Oh my god, the unknown player min check raises you on the turn, but we have ace 5 though. We have this straight blocker. We have the straight blocker, chat. Okay, we win. It's impossible to lose. Lovely stuff. We have the straight blocker, chat. We definitely need a note on that last one, guys. That is a terrifying, terrifying hand of poker right there. Okay. Queen high is what, the nuts? What was the note here? Okay, no, don't do it, Nick. Don't do it, Nick. We have 2 pair on the river, guys. We have 2 pair on the river, chat. Yo, BC Czar, what's up, man? Good to see you. BC says, hey, Nick, what was the highest stakes you ever played in spins regularly? Do you think that 100s are already very, very hard to beat? So I can't speak for the current meta because I haven't played those stakes since the change, since the merge. The highest that I ever played regularly were 50s and 100s. So I played 50 euro, 100 euro, and $50 and $100 stakes very regularly, like a lot, like hundreds a day back in the day. That was when they were reg speed, though. These days, I would imagine that the games are very, very tough. But honestly, like I've been saying this whole time, I think the standard at the 25s is already very, very good as well. I think the standard of play at the 25s is already very high. And probably not that dissimilar from 50s plus. And it just becomes a matter of bankroll probably, and also rake back as well. That'll be a big deal. Okay. So, a couple things we want to note here. First of all, that ace-10 spot there is very, very important to note. You guys can't see what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. 18 effective. I think we have to call a shove here if he puts it in. Pretty sure Jack 8 suited has enough equity. Otherwise, we'll play it like this. 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack. Backdoor clubs. He checks. Okay. $100. Can we just have the best hand? That'd be so cool. Very, very, very cool spot. All right, cool. So min check raise. So it was ace king. Let's just do ace king tray. Ace king tray, tray deuce. Turn. Super, super, super interesting spot there with the ace-10. Good games, guys. Good games. We're not done yet. Let's play some more. Let's play some more. Let's play 2 more. And then let's take a look at some hands for review. It's been a very, 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 very swingy couple sessions here, gang. I do feel like we're playing our hearts out right now, though. I don't know why I can't speak at the moment. I need to sort that out before we go do commentary for Barcelona. Mogilev. Deuces into 10s just to ruin our day, of course. Just to ruin what was a really, really majestic upswing just then. Okay, we'll do more over here. Ace king versus 9s. Get there, get there, get there. Okay, never mind. We're playing 2 more. Just 2 hands, 2 all-ins. GG, lol, spinning goes. But yeah, BC, I was playing 50s and 100s full time. Heads up, hypers, and spinning goes. But I mean, yeah, the games are going to be super duper tough for sure. As you know. It's the kind of thing where, you know, whenever you get to what is kind of like the top of the pile, you know, if that's the right term to use, whenever you get to sort of the top of the stack here, 50s and 100s and spinning goes is like a lot of people who, I know you'll appreciate this, but a lot of people that don't play spinning goes do not appreciate how very, very high stakes a $25, $50, $100 spin and go really is. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're playing hundreds." Like, "Oh, cool. So you're kind of like mid stakes, so you're coming up. Like you're still playing low stakes." And it's like they have no real concept of exactly how much money that really is to play, and how much of a bankroll you need, and how much money you will turn over in a year. But I would consider anybody playing 50s or 100s full time to be like a very, very professional poker player. And as soon as you get to any level where there are lots of professionals playing, it's going to be tough for sure in any sort of format. Lawler's asking, when are you flying out to Barcelona? I'm flying on the 20th, I believe. I'm booked from the 20th. We've played with this guy quite a lot now, actually. He's unlabeled, but come on, just put the chips in. All in here. All in's fine. All in. All in. Nope. Fractal Priest, by the way, hello. I haven't said hi to you. You've been there for ages. I actually saw your comment and completely blanked it when I was multi-tabling. I'm gonna run the King Queen. Also, this is the line with pocket twos is actually a big mistake, by the way. That's a good spot for him there. Trapping eights. He limp deuces, right? And then he called a shove. Yeah, he like limp trap deuces. That's not good. Definitely a check on the left is fine. If he's not leading, then I'm a bit concerned we're never going to get any chips here. I'm going to trap again. This is actually a really bad run out for us with the set. We're going to try and get some value, though. Okay, so this is limp, trap, button, 12 effective was... So this is definitely technically a call. We've played enough with this guy now. I think we're just gonna put the chips in here. The King 4 suited is gonna be Nash for sure. It's not even close, but we've played enough with this guy that I feel good about that call, and the A6 off is probably still good for us here too. Oops, that was actually a misclick again. Damn it. We're clicking too quickly and we're making stupid mistakes. All right, last 2 games. That was really silly. But yeah, Lawler, I'll be there from the 20th onwards. I'm going to be there for quite a long trip this time. And of course, don't forget, we'll be covering commentary of the main events. I'm actually not sure what the exact schedule is. We'll probably end up covering more than just the main as well. If you guys are interested as well, this weekend we are doing commentary for the Asia Pacific Poker Tour in Manila. We're doing that remotely. Myself, James, Seb Huber. We will be doing that from Friday. I'll confirm the time on social media if you guys want to give me a follow. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday of this week, we'll be streaming a delayed live stream from Manila in the APPT, and we'll be doing commentary on it for the whole shebang. Tilt that he has ace jack here. It just kind of is what it is. It's fine. It's kind of just what it is. There's not really too much we can do differently, I guess. We'll mark the ace-5 for review, and we'll have a talk about it. There's a lot about the ace-5 that's just kind of like, you should just send it, but there's also a ton about the ace-5 that's kind of just like, this guy is probably not going to be playing the correct range. Oh, this one's so close again as well. Oh, fudge. This one is well close. Oh, God, just kill me, mate. Just kill me. Stupid ass. I mean, it's probably the right call, but I don't know. If I had a penny for every time my heart said no and I did it anyway and it was just completely spot on correct, that'd just be, it's just fucking stupid. Really, really stupid. I just need to shut my fucking stupid brain off and just go with my actual gut instincts, because That's the whole point, right? It's the whole point. That is the whole point. And stop trying to mess yourself up just because you're trying to be right. Stop trying to be right and actually do the right thing. I win. I mean, how can I possibly lose? This goes snap check flop, snap check turn, and now he wants to bet river. 5-6? Maybe? Okay, we finished with a win. Let's take a look at our results for today. All right, so this is actually not for today. This is for this month. So this includes yesterday's session and today. You see it's been quite a roller coaster. As I said yesterday, we got off to a bit of a bad start. We kind of just bombed. I think the entire session just felt pretty standard. Loads and loads and loads of like I shove nines, they have aces, I shove ace queen, they have ace king, all that kind of shit. But we have managed to battle back a fair amount today, and we were actually getting close to a break-even chip EV until the very end of that session where we had a couple kind of more ugly spots. Overall, so far this month, we're down $325, minus 12 chip EV overall. Again, both sessions felt pretty good. Today, I do think we probably could have played slightly better, but I think we also played some very good poker at times. Let's take a look at our hands for review, and then let's wrap it up for today. So before we do that, let's close up PokerStars. And let's take a look at these hands in some more detail. So again, just to be very crystal clear, guys, we're about to go into our study session. Therefore, we're no longer playing poker. We've closed PokerStars completely. So we are definitely just going to follow the terms of service that PokerStars lay out here with the tools and stuff that we're allowed to use. So in the spot, guys, it folds around to us. This is around 12 big blinds effective. We jam Jack 7 of diamonds. This seems pretty standard to me. Actually, I got to open up what I want to use. So we're going to fire up GTO Wizard for the first time today. And we can just do some really quick review on these spots. I think this one's slam dunk push. Confirmed. Queen deuce, there is a min raise and we defend. So I wanted to see what the defense range looked like against a min raise. We're starting the hand at around 13.5 big blinds effective. I would imagine we have to call ridiculously wide. As soon as you're in position and you're facing a min raise, like the defense is so wide. I wanted to see what that really looked like because I think everything else is fine here. I think we ended up folding flop. So let's take a look. I'm pretty sure this is good though. I want to actually see the range itself though. Let's take a look. So the defense range versus the min raise here. It looks like this. This isn't quite right. 13.5. Do we not have 13.5? Okay, that's fine. So you can see here when we're facing a min raise here at 14, which by the way is the standard steal. By the way, the min raise is not something that's like super weird, but it will obviously play into our minimum defense frequency here. So we arrive here and we have queen deuce off. It's actually like 0.1 big blinds. It's pretty significant. Once we start to get here, obviously we are going to start struggling a smidge, right? Defending correctly against a perfect opponent, it looks like this. Defending correctly against players that will push fold a lot of their 14 big blind stack and they'll min raise a lot of the strong stuff becomes very tough. Understanding how we adjust to the incorrect range our opponents will have here is going to be more of a field play thing. We can do like a node lock here to figure out exactly what defense looks like. But this is what our opponent is supposed to be playing. In reality, players are just going to shove 8-7 suited. They're just going to shove 8-9 suited. They're just going to shove queen 10. They're just going to shove jack 10. As soon as all of these become shoves and just these become min raises, I mean, I think it might be an interesting experiment. Why don't we do custom solution? We're going to do 14, 14, 14 pre-flop, 3 ways, 14 big blinds a piece. Everything is GTO. The button is not allowed to limp, and let's run it from there. So this is the original solution. This is the library solution, the pre-solve. They've done it differently on both. Let's go to 14 here. So this is the opening range. This is the opening range. So you guys can see it's basically the same. So we've confirmed that our solve is pretty similar. Now let's assume that we node lock this and then we take everything afterwards. So first of all, let's confirm lock all previous nodes. We are going to run with the locks on when enabled to see. Okay, cool. We are going to apply hands like this. So this is a balanced baseline GTO strategy we're looking at right now. However, as I always bang on about, learning GTO when you're the first person to act and the other opponents haven't messed it up yet is very powerful. Understanding that you cannot parrot GTO when your opponents have already altered the decision tree is very important. So there are tons of players, including regulars, who at 14 big blinds effective will always just shove boom, boom, boom. In fact, I have no idea why they're not. Sorry, this is the wrong range. I'm looking at the wrong range. My bad, guys. Cool. Perfect. I'm looking at the wrong range. This is what we're looking at. This is the small blind strategy. That's what we're looking at. I was about to say, I don't know why those are folds. So if we're looking at this and we do this, now that we're blind v blind and we're at 14 big blinds effective, a lot of players will basically just simplify their strategy to look something like this. Let's just say they do all this, they do these, they do this. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is there's not going to be a lot of science that we're going to apply here, but what we are trying to basically work out is, if we assume that our opponents are going to play more of a push-fold strategy at 14 big blinds effective, let's say that they're just going to min-raise this one. Let's say it looks something like this. You know, whatever. Something like this. And let's apply that. And our opponent has opted to raise. So 2 things. First of all, the chart that we were looking at a moment ago was wrong because we were looking at the 2x steal. There's actually a better way to do this, isn't there? Anyway, let's compare the two. So once there's been a steal, a min raise, this is what our defense frequency is supposed to look like. This is what our defense range is supposed to look like. Once we arrive here, it's very different, right? So suddenly we're doing this because of the specifics of the way that I selected the range, but the 3-bet jamming is like not nearly as frequent when our opponents basically don't have those smaller pairs anymore, right? It's being altered very specifically for the fact that we are playing most of these as jams, but the min raises become significantly stronger is the point in a specific way. But first of all, what we need to do is we need to take a step back because we were looking at the wrong thing to begin with. So the initial spot we were trying to investigate was the min raise range at this stack depth. So thankfully, as part of the NickWalshTV chart pack, and actually not in GTO Wizard, I will add, in the generic GTO Wizard library, they have not included a 2x steal size, which I think is fine because what they're trying to do is they're trying to show you what they think is the best sizing strategy. If we go into the NWTV Advanced Chart Pack, however, I have done additional solves. So this one. So if we go into this one, this is part of the Advanced Pack only. If we go into a node lock SB2, and then we open up simple preflop. So this is the program that I used to actually make this this chart pack from scratch. And as part of the advanced chart pack edition, what I've done is, in order to give us an idea about how we're supposed to handle the 2x steals, which is something that a lot of players will employ, we need to take a look at this. So if we start from 15, for example, so basically what I've done is I've dragged this file into simple preflop. This is actually free to use, assuming you're not doing any actual solving yourselves. And now we can drill into this. So the button is folded, and now the small blind is going to raise to 2, and then this is our strategy. So the defense strategy here actually becomes a lot wider. Like I said, it's every suited hand. It's everything down to Jack deuce off, and this is more of what we're trying to look at here. This is actually, I think we might have done it right the first time anyway. But yeah, long story short, yes, this is what it looks like. But interestingly enough, if you actually go into GTO Wizard specifically at 14, there's no way of actually viewing the 2x steal unless you solve it yourself, which involves you buying the more expensive package in order to solve it for yourself. But on this basis, we can drill in and we can see that the queen deuce is very clearly well within you know, what we want to play here. Yeah, this is a little bit confusing the way they've done the EV here. I'm wondering if there's a way that we can change the way that that displays. In any case, doesn't matter. Basically, this is fine. This is confirmed good, and that's all what we want to look at. So that's fine. Let's do this next one. Okay, cool. So ace jack of diamonds. Here's a limp. We raised to 2.5. I believe this is correct with our big Broadway hands. There's a call. We arrive here and we just have an absolutely atrocious hand. We check, our opponent checks, and once we arrive here, there's a lot of assumptions that I have that I want to try and confirm. Number one, when our opponent doesn't bet the flop, I'm assuming they never have a flush draw, at least not on the flop. I could be wrong about that from a GTO perspective. I think from a humanistic perspective, I think that's probably true. Our opponents will almost never have a 6 or a 5. A lot of times if they are in there with these combos, they're trying to sort of get the money in the middle. Again, I think probably you're supposed to be checking a fair amount with those hands, just because your opponents are supposed to trap check these boards with overpairs and stuff like that too. As played, though, we do start betting here, and I'd love to see what this looks like from GTO because it's a very difficult hand to play well. If my interpretation of this is that our opponents actually don't have tons of equity and they're going to have a lot of unmade hands on this board, I do think the bet becomes very good because now we can suddenly get value from like king 10 with the king of clubs and like jack 10 with the jack of clubs and stuff like that. As played, there's a call, and on the river, it goes check, check. He turns up with 8 deuce of spades. I do think that this is the correct call pre-flop. I do think probably this is the correct call post-flop. I want to see how I fare in this situation though, because this is a post-flop that I am definitely drowning in here. Okay, so the pre-flop. Okay, my guess is, I haven't seen this before. My guess is that they want us to raise to 4 big blinds here instead of 2.5. Okay, yes. Also, I'd like to compare this to the NWTV chart pack though as well, because I'm pretty sure that we can do both for sure. But I would love to see if the NWTV chart pack agrees. So we start at 12 effective. Yeah, okay, so, and this is definitely an agreement. This is a spot that I have been misplaying for a very, very, very long time. Because I was always working from the simplified chart pack, which is still good, don't get me wrong. This is not an example of the simplified chart pack, but the chart packs that I got when I started to play Spin and Goes would have looked something similar to this. And we can see that as soon as we have... this is wrong. This is images, heads up, big blind versus limp 12. So you can see where my head is coming from. So right here we have this is like what almost every Spin and Go player would have had 10 years ago or whatever it was, right? The sophistication of our solves was really, really low. The actual accuracy of a lot of the solves probably wasn't nearly as good as well. But in general, there were a lot of assumptions that were made about the way that Spin and Go should be played, and a lot of the chart packs were designed to be given to players who had never played spins, and therefore we didn't have this dynamic ISO size strategy that we use now, or that we employ now. And so in a situation where we are telling the computer they are allowed to go all in, they're allowed to raise to a normal standardized size and check, you can see that, you know, our sort of Broadway hands do want to raise frequently, and they want to raise to around 2.5. That's because it's being restricted to use this sizing. However, in the event that we give it the 1/4 pot size, this 4.5x sizing, it does really, really like to raise these hands to a larger size. And this is something that I still do not do correctly to this day. I actually don't know why this is 4.5 and not 4, but it is super interesting that even at 4.5, it actually still prefers this to be a large ISO. So it's not that sensitive, and it's actually not that close. It just wants to be a big one, a big raise. Let's assume instead, for the sake of argument, because it's very similar in the way it plays, let's assume that we do play this and it's ace queen suited instead of ace jack, right? Just for the sake of argument, let's see how far we can go. So this is too far off piece for them. Let's go ahead and say that we're going to study this from this position. In fact, let's go all the way and then study it from here so we have all of it. So let's assume now that we have the ace queen suited instead. If we start from here, this is a call. We're raising ace queen. We're raising this to... This is also a large raise according to GTO Wizard, but I'm trying to find a better example. What's one? Okay, so let's assume that we have ace king suited instead, just because GTO Wizard will actually show us what we're supposed to do here. So let's say that we have ace king of diamonds, for example, specifically. We've raised this hand. Our opponent calls. This is the board. Now we have ace king. They still just want us to bet 6-5 deuce, basically. And so, according to this, it is going to be a lot of betting. There's a big mix. Apparently, they want you to either bet 1 or they want you to bet 3, which in this case is, you know, 3/5 pot or 1 big blind. It's interesting on this board. There's actually not very much trapping in the end anyway. So basically, as played, they do want us to bet this texture more aggressively, and it's interesting. I'm actually not sure exactly why, but we do. Let's say that we do end up betting 1 and we get called, which will happen a lot, I'd imagine. 6 of clubs on the turn. Now, ace king diamonds. He's going to want to go again. Basically, they're trying to treat this hand as a bluff at this point. So they want us to bet 2.5 or 4 on the turn very aggressively. I'm going to need to look at this one again, guys. This one's pretty complex. This is a very tricky one to play correctly. I am kind of just blown away at the fact there's not more checking on this board. This is super interesting. Let's say we do raise to 4 and there's a call. 6 of hearts, 5 deuce of clubs. I mean, once we arrive here, then it makes a lot more sense that the pot is really big, that we need to pile the money in. Yeah, I mean, interestingly enough, this becomes very simplified, doesn't it, right? So in the event that we play those hands the way they're supposed to be played, let's say we do have ace jack of diamonds, just making this 4 big blinds to go pre-flop, which is about 6 is actually close to 12. Let's say we do make this 4 to go. We can basically just shove flop at this point. 6-5 deuce isn't going to connect hard enough for us to want to just get the chips in the middle with the odds that we have. So really, actually, I would say probably the takeaway from this overall is that we're probably going to want to study the ace-king spot more and understand more about how we're supposed to approach that. But actually, the ace-jack suited here is just going to be played better as the big ISO. And we need to do that more often because it is a really nice move. Anyway, there's a min raise here, and we call with king 10. We arrive here. We check raise to 3, and our opponent folds. I'm pretty sure we are check raising king 10 on this board against a reg. Let's see if that's true. Perfect play. And the size. Check raises to 3. Cool. Nice. Queen 4. We jam this blind v blind for 8 big blinds. This is probably a mistake, guys. So that's a 8 big blinds effective jam. Queen 4 is going to be okay at 7. I think once we get to 8, it's a little bit too wide, but we still might limp this hand or something weird. Maybe it's just like a min raise or something goofy. Stupid GTO. Yeah, there you go. It's a call. It's a min raise. And then I can almost guarantee you that Queen 5 is a jam based on the study we've been doing recently. It's right there. That's where Queen 5 starts to become the push. So even though we get these ones wrong here, it is really good that we're highlighting them, because once we've done them, we're aware of the fact we're messing them up. We're studying them, we're improving. And also our instincts in these situations regarding where the cutoffs are is getting much better, right? So this is something we've talked about a lot. In the event that we get close to a hand that can be shoved for Nash theoretically, a lot of times the weakest of those hands become our balancing hands for when we're trying to do things that look very strong. So if we do want to min raise at 8 big blinds effective, which we can see we do with aces, kings, queens, jacks, 10s, we need to balance this somehow. And the best way to do that is to find hands that are borderline going to be a Nash shove, that don't actually make that many chips as a jam, and play them as a min raise. So 10-3 will have similar qualifiers as well. 9-6 offsuit, we limp, our opponent checks, we bet the flop, they call. On the turn, we go for another bet, and they raise us. I'm pretty sure that 2-barreling this board is very cool. I'm pretty sure that this is fine. Let's take a look and see if they agree. Yeah, beautiful stuff. So pre-flop, just a limp is fine. On the board, you got to bet 100% basically. As in, we're going to have a bet here every time, not necessarily the right size. On this turn, I think there is a lot of value to all of it. Betting is actually going to be the more valuable. Betting 2.7 here, I think, is actually a nice exploit sizing because it's a very similar threat to 3. We save ourselves a few chips. I do think that generally speaking, it might be very, very interesting for us to make some custom bet buttons here. So what I mean by that is it might be fun for us to program some presupposed bet sizes. Often on turns, when we bet, we are going to want to bet approximately 3/4 pot. If we actually design our bet buttons to specifically give us a size that is slightly less than that by a few big blinds, we can apply a very similar amount of pressure to the turn with while saving ourselves very valuable big blinds. In fact, I'm going to make a note of that. I'd like to take a look at what that looks like tomorrow. 3/4 pot automation turn sizing. This actually could be a very, very cool thing to do. I'm going to take a look at that tomorrow. Hello, Ram Ranch. Good to see you. I self-excluded due to gambling issues. My PokerStars self-exclusion unlocks in 2 days. I'm drinking at the moment. Life is rough. Casino games on the other sites suck. I miss poker. I look forward to being back. Well, I'm glad that you're going to rejoin us, mate. I really hope that you're looking after yourself, though. Self-exclusion is a very good tool if you do feel like you're not in control of your gambling, and I fully support that. Tom is here. Yeah, Tom is our power mod. He's probably just busy at the minute. Sorry for not responding faster, mate. It's good to have you back. And yeah, take care of yourself, man. It's important to look after yourself. I'm going to do more work on this. I'm going to see if I can automate our turn sizing here that gives us like some really annoying size that the regs are going to hate. Just out of interest, I would love to see what the single size is here. So if we open this one up, this actually might be a very cool little hack. So again, this is with all the sizes, guys. If we change this to be just single size strategy, the turn sizing here is literally 2.7. Our super powered brain is using the exploit basic one size 2.7 on this turn. Now, just out of interest, I want to know what that is. I want to know what this actual size is. I want to know 2.7 divided by 4. It is a 4 big blind stack, right? No, sorry. Yeah, the stack is 4. Okay. So this is 67.5%. I have an idea, guys. I have a very cool idea that might just be the most genius strat of all time. I'm excited about that. I'm going to look at that later. Okay, cool. Jack 7. We end up shoving this for 7.5. I'm pretty sure this is fine. Jack 7 is going to be cuspy here. It's not cuspy because it's not going to be profitable. It's going to be cuspy because like what I was saying earlier about the sort of lower end of our shoving ranges might balance here. Cool. Yeah. So we can see here Jack 7. Let's open it up. I can show you what I'm talking about. So Jack 7 is right on the cusp, but not because it's not going to be a good push. If we actually look at the EV of this, the comparison between the shove and the raise and the limp is almost identical. You lose almost nothing in playing this as a push. If you're playing a 2x multiplier against a reg, the push is probably going to simplify this in a way that makes you the same amount of chips. It also removes the opportunity for them to exploit you on a later street. However, if that's the case and it's close, Jack 7 is going to come out, Jack 8 goes in. That makes sense. I'm not surprised about this. I just wanted to confirm that that was the case. That was what it was in my mind. We min-raise aces here. Our opponent jams. They 3-bet jam, and we call, and they've got king 9 of spades. Oh my God, it's glorious. I don't know why we're looking this one up, apart from the fact that I wanted to just double check that king 9 suited is not a jam. I don't think that ever happens. I'm going to go out on a limb and say king 9 of spades is supposed to flat most of the time, maybe 3-bet some of the time. We min-raise. King 9 suited here is literally going to be a call. I believe 100% of the time it is. Yeah, cool. Ramaran says, I mean, use the restriction tools for gamble. Use the restriction tools for gamble bet size limits. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, for your reuse. Good, mate. That's good. Fantastic, mate. Yeah. Stay in control. Gambling is super fun, but you don't want it to become a problem in your life. You want to keep the gambling fun, man. Yeah, we call the shove here with ace 5. It's gonna say yes. I'd be surprised if computer says no, but it just feels gross. I don't know. I wanted to look at this one again. So this is the spot I was crying about at the end of the stream, just because I just don't think that these players are necessarily going to shove the correct range here. So this is 12-12-6. Do they really shove king 8 suited here? This isn't that crazy. Okay, this is probably just a call. That's fine. We did make the correct call because I said it was right. It was correct. Now a6 again. This is a slightly different one. 3 big blind jam, now a 10 big blind jam, 9.5, and now we have a6 of diamonds. I'm pretty sure we have to call here. But it just feels gross when I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my soul that this is probably just a fold against these guys, but let's take a look. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not close either. Like all the other aces are in here. Ace 7, yeah, it's fine. Okay, it is what it is. 3.5 big blinds. People will jam like this. Small blind probably will jam like this. The unknown player might not shove this stuff. Let's say let's no luck this one anyway. Let's go 3.5, 10, 10. 3.5, 10, 10. Is that right? Let's just do the exact one. Let's do 3.3, 9.6. And then yeah, whatever. We have 9.6. We've got them covered, but just for the sake of argument, let's do 9 points. 9.6. Okay. Button cannot limp. This is also accurate. Okay, cool. So this is the exact super solve, right? Let's say our opponent does shove here. But now let's assume that our opponents are not going to be as aggressive here. Let's say that they actually fold some of this stuff. Let's say they fold this. I mean, this is pretty realistic. I know a lot of people that would just fold this. Let's not go too crazy. Let's say it looks something like this. Okay, now apply. Now they're all in. Okay. To be fair, guys, to be fair, let's compare these two now. This is the original. This is close to the original, right? This is the calling range. This is the adjusted calling range. We're not crazy. We're definitely thinking along the right lines, but we do end up with a combination that still wants to call. We do end up with a6, which is pretty high up here. Yeah, it's a call. Okay, fine. Good. On both occasions, bad spots, but good calls. And there we go. So there we are, guys. Another session in the book. We definitely put on a decent show today. We made it for yesterday, at least to a certain degree. Again, we're trying to focus on the long-term results here because we have been stuck in the doldrums for quite some time. At the very least, guys, what I will say is, we'll take a look at the graph now. I'll kind of explain what I'm going with this. We were stuck here for a very long time, and it was very, very sad. And we definitely got more frustrated than I would be happy with, you know, as an outside influence. If I was coaching myself, the frustration that took hold during this stretch is just not appropriate for somebody who wants to be considered a professional poker player. And I do feel like we've snapped ourselves out of that to a big degree, right? Poker is annoying sometimes. Poker can be very frustrating. Don't get me wrong. I don't think people that try and like pretend like they're stoic all the time, but they're fuming inside, I don't think that's healthy. But I do feel like since we've broken out of there, at least we're making shit happen. Like we're actually in there. We're in the trenches. We're making calls. We're making bluffs. We're not shying away from what we're capable of because we're in the middle of a rut. And I do think that there's a lot of power in that. We've managed to regain some of that downswing that we've experienced just here. And again, guys, this is only like 4,000 games, right? We have a lot of time to catch up. If we can keep this mentality, I know this is a bit of a rocky roller coaster here, but if we can keep this energy, our ability to take this up to a chip EV that I believe that we are capable of seems very possible. When we're stuck here grumbling, we're never going to get there. If we have another stretch like this, you know, it's going to be very difficult to complete 10,000 games at a chip EV that I would be happy with. So we need to keep the faith and keep the morale high. I agree with Tom. Playing faster definitely does have a big impact on the way that these games are experienced and the opportunity for us to play more hands. Playing these games on multiple tables does have a positive impact on our mindset as well. You know, trying not to focus too much on individual hands, but trying to think about the strategy as a whole. And that's what we need to do. We found a more positive outlook. We found a more positive mindset. It's having a positive influence on our results. I think probably also we ran like trash during this time as well, but that's, you know, whatever. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep persevering in that vein. And I think we can probably find ourselves in a better spot overall. Anyway, that's going to be all for today, guys. I'm signing off. I'll do another stream tomorrow for sure, maybe even on Friday. Need to confirm what the plan is for this weekend, but with Barcelona coming up pretty quickly, we're going to be offline for quite some time while we're doing commentary for PokerStars at EPT Barcelona. So I want to get in as much volume as possible. I want to do some more streams, more volume off stream as well, and try and get us to, you know, 6K pretty quick. Anyway, signing off for now, guys. Love you all very much. See you guys on the flip side. Ciao for now. I said ciao for now. I said